streaming. Let me see. Guys, let me know if we go live. People in the live chat, let us know if the audio is working. Let me check myself. Let us know if the audio is okay.
We're live on YouTube.
We are?
Yes.
And how's the audio?
I don't know. It's on a commercial.
What? There's a commercial?
It's on an ad. Yeah.
What the hell? Why is it on an ad? Okay. Okay, yeah. I can hear that we have... Allie! Yeah. Okay, guys. We're live. Sounds great. Hi. Okay, guys, everyone. We're live with Allie. Hi, people in the live chat are excited. So many people have been waiting for this. You have no idea how much you love Allie. Welcome back. How are you?
I don't know. I still don't know how to answer that question. I know that it's rhetorical. Everyone's supposed to say fine, but it's I'm not fine. I'm still not fine. Aww. Doing better. I'm doing better though, and that's important.
That's great. That's great. We miss you so much, and we're so happy you're able to join the live stream.
Missed you.
People in the live chat are saying, Allie, we love you. Allie, lots of hearts, lots of welcome backs.
So much love.
Hug messages. Oh my god, yeah. Before we went on live stream, I couldn't believe actually seeing you. It's been how long has it been?
6 months.
6 months.
6 months.
6 months.
You know,
yeah.
I was really wondering if I ever gonna see you again.
I know. I was wondering how I was ever going to come back. I was terrified, in all honesty, to come back. I didn't know the mess that would be left in my message boxes when I tried to find you. I just, I got on Facebook after 6 months. I looked up, instead of going through all my messages, I typed in people's names to go to their profile to find them and message them directly so that I wouldn't have to go through my messages, which I unfortunately did later. But I'm just so happy. I'm so happy to be back with you guys. Armin, he has been my family, my brother. Genuinely love you, and I genuinely missed you. And Jim, love you. And I've missed everyone in my family. You guys are my family, and I've missed you so much. I really have.
You know, it definitely has not been the same without you. When I just got this random pop-up in this group chat, and I just see people just going ape shit. I'm like, oh boy, you know, who did Chrissy boot now? And so I go and I pop it up, and it's Allie. She's, hey guys, and I just remember I doing a triple take and just not being able to just conceive what was going on. Like, wait, what? Allie?
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I actually,
one of the happiest days of my life.
Like, I actually did think I might be dreaming. Like, when I woke up and I saw your message, I actually had to check my phone a couple of times. But so you're saying you're not doing good, but you are doing better, right?
I am doing better. Yeah, physically I'm doing better. I became very sick from a lot of stress that would have just been accumulated over the course of about 9 months leading up to it before. And, you know, I got really sick. And then after that, just kind of had a break and had to be away for a while and get better. And I'm still getting better. And today is my birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday!
Oh my gosh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Ellie.
Thank you. 35 years. I've made it to 35 years. I'm pretty proud of that.
We're the same age.
We are, yeah.
Well, I didn't get you anything, but here's Armin.
This is the best birthday present I could hope for.
Dutch Skeptic is saying, I missed you so much. I'm exploding.
I missed him too.
Happy birthday. People sending cake messages. Mrs. Snarky saying happy birthday.
Snarky. Aw. So nice.
Mrs. Snarky has a YouTube channel.
I know, yes.
Ah,
I've seen her on it. So
that's so awesome.
So, okay, so is it... Let us know if we shouldn't ask anything, okay? But do you mind telling people what happened?
So, okay, we were doxed. Armin and I were doxed last year, and Armin had been lucky enough to have moved, but I hadn't been lucky enough to have moved. And people really seemed to be pretty interested, I guess, because of maybe my location. In actually coming to my house, I had to get the police involved. The police took this very, very seriously once I gave them all the messages and things that I had gotten, and they started doing drive-bys by my house constantly. They helped me with advice on how to set up security cameras around my home to catch people. There were multiple occasions where police officers doing a drive-by would see someone suspicious outside of my house. People who knew where to avoid the outside cameras, but my inside cameras could see shadows peeking through my windows. You know, it was a terrifying experience for me. And not only was it a terrifying experience because I was doxxed and because I was getting, you know, threats and things of that nature, but I also lived in a really sketchy, bad neighborhood to begin with. You know, someone shot a police officer across the street from my house. The police officer shot him back and killed him. It was right across the street, you know, like I lived in a pretty bad, dangerous place anyway. So on top of living in a pretty bad, dangerous place, being doxxed and having people, you know, taunt that they had my address was a horrifying experience. So, you know, everything.
Was this the Wayne guy? The Wayne guy?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Wayne Smith. It's not his real name. Oh. I've done everything. Looking online to find out who he really is. And he's been whenever you make upgrades to or try to make changes in Wikipedia, they show you the IP address that the person used to try to get it from. I've actually tracked that IP address to where he's living at in Australia, but it was actually just like a storage place. So it was as if he goes around and gets on people's Wi-Fi to try to make changes. I know.
For people that don't know, you got doxxed because of your involvement with Atheist Republic, and this is a guy that is very obsessed with Atheist Republic and is trying to make a new version of it by himself. And the Wikipedia that you're mentioning is he like goes on Wikipedia, tries to change my Wikipedia.
He goes on Armin's. He goes on Armin's personal Wikipedia site, and he tries to make updates, calling Armin just a co-founder of Atheist Republic, instead of, you know, being the founder of. And he tries to update it, saying that, you know, he created it and Armin supported him, and he's crazy. He's been blocked. So he sorry, Jim.
No, I was just going to say that this guy is so crazy that he spent his own money to buy domains for other atheist groups to try to discredit them and say and claim that he is the original, and he's trying to do that with us.
Right. Yeah. So he found your address and he put it out there.
Put it out there for everyone, and you know, people from hate groups, you know, people who just didn't like Atheist Republic, people who were mad. This one guy ended up writing us saying that we were Trump supporters because we had made a post apparently that he took as pro-Trump, even though we didn't say anything in it. Like, yes, everyone in Atheist Republic believes this. No, but he took it as we were pro-Trump, and he posted my address. My real address, and he was like, so this is where you live? Okay. You know, so it was out there, and that was written to the Atheist Republic page. It was out there. I was horrified and terrified, and as I was telling Armin and Jim before this, and I've been crying a lot, so I'm sorry, but as I told them before this, you know, kill me, hurt me, harass me, that's fine, but they were bringing my children into it. And that was really horrifying for me.
What did they say?
Well, so from the Atheist Republic doxing, I was later doxed by a vegan group who happened to get the same information. And the people from the vegan group were talking about raping me, raping my daughters, stealing our children from us and milking us the rest of our life like dairy cows are treated. People from the Atheist Republic group would talk about beheading my sons.
What the fuck?
It was terrifying. And then, you realize so much of your information is out online. So many people knew. I still, even, which I need to take down, but have a picture of me and my daughter on my Facebook page. And so many people, look at that and they know what she looks like. And I lost it because what if my children were outside playing and somebody recognized them? Everything became about safety. Everything. And I was so scared at the time to say anything out loud. I told people we were doxed, and I did it with a brave face. And I was so terrified to let anyone see how it affected me behind closed doors because I didn't want the harassment to continue. I didn't want it to escalate because people saw, oh, this is really upsetting her, so let's keep doing it. A police officer literally chased a guy who was standing outside of my home just by doing a drive-by that they promised me they'd do because they were concerned about the threats that I was getting. And, everything, safety consumed me. Anytime I left my home, which wasn't often, I would drive around in my neighborhood to make sure no one was following me. I couldn't just go directly to a store. Again, I had to take weird paths to see if anyone was following me there. Everything just became about safety. I was terrified of my kids at school. They knew where I lived. They knew where schools were zoned and districts. So there was no more, taking a bus or walking home or being with friends. It was just everything. Everything was about safety. And it just consumed me. It got to a point where it was consuming me physically. I was sick and I was breaking down and, I was vomiting blood. Everything was just getting to a point where it was so bad and I was too afraid. I was too afraid to say it was scaring me. I was too afraid to let anyone know, look how bad this has gotten, because then it would only have gotten worse. And yeah, I broke physically, I broke mentally, and I left. I was gone. I was in the hospital for a very long time, recuperating from a stomach ulcer that had actually eaten through my stomach. I had an infection. Everything just seemed to just get worse and worse and worse. And even when I was in the hospital, during times when, I was awake and could understand, I didn't trust anyone coming into my room. I didn't even trust nurses coming into my room. Who are you? What are you doing here? Everything was just horrifying to me. So
because of the doxing, you were dealing with paranoia that caused that was a result of the doxing issues, right? Like everybody, yeah. You couldn't trust you felt like you can't trust anybody, and that's why you went off. Is that why you went offline, or you mentioned that?
I went offline because I physically couldn't anymore. I mean, I was throwing up blood, and I had to be taken back to the hospital because I would just get so sick, and finally when I got an infection, there are times I wasn't even lucid. I mean, I wasn't able to talk to anyone or anything, and while I was in there, I was so agitated. I was so untrusting, even of the doctors and the nurses. They were concerned, you know. Everyone thought it was in my best interest to not speak to anybody, or, you know, so everyone was being really wonderful and trying to help me. But after a while, I just didn't have a choice. I didn't have access to anything to talk to anyone, and it was all about getting me better.
Is there, okay, so the vegan group that threatened you, is there any way that the police could tried or could find the people that sent you those death threats?
You know, it's amazing what the police will do for you when they take those threats seriously. And so I want anyone who's watching this right now, if you're getting serious death threats from people who live in your state, and they give you your address, they say, I know where you are, and they threaten you, and they give you bits of information that they shouldn't know, take it to your police. In your police, you will be surprised at how much they will do to keep you safe. Yeah. They really will. They will do drive-bys. They will go out of their way to make sure you're taken care of first. And so I really want you to do that. But on the flip side to that, when you take them these things, don't expect them to really do much investigation over threats that you get from these people. They will, you know, do your drive-bys, and they will do what it takes. You know, if you need to call them, you know, they will take you very seriously, but they're not going to investigate every little death threat that you get sent online. And I don't know why that is. I don't know. I think that this should be taken more seriously. I think that, you know, when there's an organized attack against you because someone doesn't like what you've had to say. I mean, if we can go and get to the nitty gritty of why this happened to me. One, it was because people didn't like Atheist Republic for one reason or another. Right? They determined Atheist Republic was anti-LGBT, which is insanity. They determined AR was too liberal. They determined it was too conservative. They determined I'm a feminazi. They determined I'm a white male activist supporter, and white has to be thrown in there because they make sure to throw white in there all the time. So, that's important. So you have to understand these people from that aspect were so happy to share my address and terrify me because they didn't like a stance that they thought Atheist Republic took. Okay?
If you rejoice in having a person live in a constant state of fear as a consequence of your actions, and you are okay with that, and you're okay perpetuating that information, all because of a disagreement in a belief, not only are you dishonest in the belief that you hold, but you are a garbage human being.
Thank you, Jim. Absolutely. It is dishonest. It's very dishonest when no matter what stance it is you think that you take, if it's ever so righteous that another human being has to suffer for it, how righteous are you? So exactly. What really got hard was, and this was a goal that I had made of myself in Armin, and I stuck by this goal. If I truly believed in something and never questioned it or never had it questioned, and I just kept a belief that I would always, when presented with a proper argument, reevaluate my stance. And I did that a few times. I did. Even to this day, I don't like the stance that a pedophile who hasn't committed, you know, any sort of child molestation isn't a monster. What? I don't like that I hold that stance, but I hold it because it's true.
Well, let's give people some background. I mean, the video for that is that, like, me and you had a debate against each other where I said, like, as long as somebody hasn't committed a crime, they shouldn't be punished. Because
we should drop a link.
Yeah, we'll drop a link later. But then you had disagreed with me, and we had a YouTube debate about it. and you actually changed your mind on it. But a lot of people hated your new position on it, right?
Right.
Right.
But the thing is, and even I, you know, it's hard once you realize that you have a feeling about something and it's just based on your past experiences or something like that. That's not logical or reasonable. You have to look at facts. You have to look at everything as a whole, and you have to get rid of your emotion on a stance, and you have to look at true, honest criticism of what you're saying. And so I did that same thing with veganism. For those of you who don't know, because I never made this a big deal, I was a vegetarian my whole life. Then I turned vegan. And when I was a vegan, I would, on an occasion, you know, try fish or something of that nature. I didn't kill myself over every little thing, right? I still was a strong believer in vaccinations, which of course, as you know, are made from animals. I had my kids vaccinated. My child's doctor told me when she was young that being a vegan, forcing her to be a vegan at such a young age, wasn't healthy for her. So I fed her chicken and veggies and, you know, meat and things, milk, things that my doctor said was healthy for my child to eat. Well, I was attacked on that a lot, right? You took your child to a quack doctor. Your child's doctor doesn't know what he's talking about. And I was often attacked on that. And then when it came to the topic of vaccines, right now we've got an outbreak in Washington. People aren't vaccinating their children enough. This is a serious problem. And in the vegan community, if there's one thing we can do to help animals, human animals, is to vaccinate our children. This is important. And I understand that it's a sacrifice on the behalf of animals. And it's a sacrifice I'm grateful for. And I take that, and I am grateful that we have this opportunity for our children. And then, you know, when we look at the posts we've made on Atheist Republic making fun of vegans, I thought it was kind of funny, and I was a vegan, okay? We post things that I agreed with. We posted things that I didn't agree with. Who am I? I'm one person. Why should we not post something because I don't agree with it in total, right? Yes. So I appreciated and I loved being challenged and going through those threads. I would go through them. I would read them. And I thoroughly enjoyed the vegan threads because I liked I would like that I was able to see other people's points of view, right? Carnists, as meat eaters are known in the vegan world. Carnists would come on there and they'd be so aggressive and they'd be so angry at vegans. How dare you think you have the right to tell us what to eat? Well, you know what? They're right. Right? If we're going to take a stance that, you know, this is my body, my choice, it really comes down to the same thing when it comes to other people's dietary choices. And we can't throw a blanket on everyone and say, this is healthiest, this is the best, this is what we can do as individuals. The only thing we've ever been able to do as individuals is be an example for the world. Be the example you want the world to be. Okay, yeah. You control what goes in your body. And so when I made this point and I said, you know, when people are saying I'm cutting back on my meat choices, they're still eating meat, but they're cutting back. Isn't that a victory for the vegan side? When people say I've given up meat, but I'll never give up cheese, right? Isn't that still a victory for our vegan side? They're giving up meat. Less animals are being used here. This is a fantastic thing, I think. And people were so outraged.
At you for saying that that's a win?
At me for saying, how dare you? How dare you? Do you know what a dairy cow goes through in its lifetime? A, yes, I do. Okay. And B, there are several different sides to what a dairy cow goes through. You need to look at you know, public farming, private farming. I have known many private farmers, and where I live, there's a lot of farmers, okay? But I have known many private farmers who treat their animals with utmost respect, and they love them, and they're good to them. And I know there are a lot of places that treat animals like shit, I get that. Okay, but if we have to be honest, we have to see that there are two sides of it. There are. And so people were so angry at me for saying it's okay for people to eat cheese. They've given up meat, but it's okay for them to still eat cheese. Who are you? If you don't, you don't care what the life of a dairy cow is. What we're going to do is we're going to rape you. We're going to rape you, and we're going to milk you for the rest of your life until you die. And those threats just poured in.
Extremists. Extremists. There's no other word for it.
Absolute extremists. And people, of course, went to my Facebook profile, saw pictures of my daughter, started saying things like, started saying things that threatened my daughter.
It's awful. Nobody should have to go through that. Nobody should have to fear for their child's safety over a disagreement. I mean, people shouldn't even be threatening other humans over disagreements, much less their children. I mean, attacking things that they hold dear for the sheer purpose of instilling fear. That is the only reason they do it.
Like, you were flooded with this, Ellie. Like, it was
flooded.
Like, it was, the numbers were fucking crazy.
There was no escape. It was coming in on Twitter. And with Twitter, my email was set up to see every message. So it was like, I felt like I was just being surrounded by this, and people who knew where I lived. People who knew where I lived and making threats against my children. Like I said, hurt me, whatever. But when you bring children into it, it's just insane. And I was terrified, I was terrified of even telling my brother how far this went, because I was scared. And I stayed away from my brother for a while. I did, because I didn't want anyone following me to his house or seeing where he lived or hurting my nieces and nephew. And people did reach out even to my brother.
They found your brother? These people are fucking insane. Like, they go out. Can we not? Is there a record of all these threats somewhere that can be?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Like, if the police is not going to investigate, is there anything, like, again, tell me if any of this is a bad idea, like, or is stupid or anything. Like, can we not, like, link to all of them, archive them, and maybe people on the internet might try to find out who they are and where they came from?
Yeah, I don't, some of them I know exactly where they've come from. I know exactly where they live too.
Why can't we report them?
To their police. I tried.
What the hell?
And the bottom line was, I would have to prove that that person logged into their account and they were the ones who sent me that message. And I couldn't prove that.
Is shaming on online or something like that? Is that not something we can do? Again, tell me if any of this is stupid or.
There have been, I think that this just needs to be a topic, because I cannot be the only person who's gone through this. I can't be. And I think that, this is important that we bring this up and we talk about this stuff. I was terrified to come on here and even go live with this, because I just don't want it to start all over again. I just don't. And,
and this is where it starts. I mean, it's because you're just so strong. I mean, I know how hard this is and how big of a step this was for you. I mean, to even contact us and just say, okay, I'm ready. Like, that alone just attests to the huge amount of courage that you have, and that's what everybody else needs to have too. They need to bring their voices forward, and we need to, like you said, this is a very, very much a systemic issue, and this is a very real thing. This is not virtual. This is in the real world. These are physical threats, and they need to be addressed. You're absolutely right.
So I mean, I've seen again, the line of reasoning seems to be, and I've seen this other places before, and it seems like it's a huge kind of type of threat from some people in the vegan community, is that if you endorse any kind of dairy products, you're basically endorsing raping of animals. So we're going to threaten your children of rape because you're also endorsing rape of animals. That's the line of reasoning that they go with, right? And this is not like a fringe, small little thing within the vegan community. This is like there's a flood of people that will come at you if they mark you as a target, right?
And I'm one of their own.
Oh, and you're one of their own.
Yeah, a member of the community.
Imagine what they would do to someone who's not.
And all over for a minor disagreement, you agree with them on 99% of the things, but you're like, hey, this isn't reasonable. Like, let's look at this.
Wouldn't we, you know, I think that living the example speaks a lot louder than going on social media and yelling at people for what they put in their bodies.
Yes.
I really don't want them to get away with what they did to you, Allie. I'm happy to be very selfish, seeking revenge here. I just really don't want them to get away with this.
What I'm terrified of is that they're not done.
They're not done?
What I'm terrified of.
Is there anything we can do to like protect you or help you, or no?
I've, even in my new place, my state has a stalking assistance, actually, where you don't have to use your real address for identification, which I am taking advantage of. That aspect. So again, if anyone's being stalked or harassed, check with your state to see what assistance they can offer you as far as hiding your new location when you do have to move. But I'm really close friends with a police officer in my neighborhood. So, you know, that's a plus for me because I have her to back me up, and she's always around, and that makes me feel better. But I don't want these people to get away with what they've done. But I don't want to spark anymore. I'm never going to shut up. I'm never going to shut up. And that stands for my stances on atheism, and it stands for my stances on veganism. I will always talk about things even when it's hard to do so. I will do it, and I'm not going to shut up. So as you guys seen, it can hurt me to do those things, but you're never going to shut me up. I can move to as many houses as there are around the world. I can just keep moving. I don't know if I need revenge. I think me being here is revenge enough. Haven't shut me up.
No, you're too strong for that.
So, Allie, I also hope, that you're using the, cybersecurity of VPN and things like that. Okay. So what do you think is the best way for people who are not victims of this to help address this problem?
When you see this stuff, report it. And the police, like I said, aren't going to do anything, but having this on file when somebody goes to say, look at what this person has said to me or done to me, it can help if there are other files too. If you say, I want to make a police report, I've seen this threat, I've seen somebody being doxed. Some places, and I don't have one, but some places around America and even around the world have cyber, it's new. Okay, all of this is kind of new, but they have cybersecurity law enforcement. And some places you can get people for this type of bullying and harassment. It's typically and easier to prove if it's just one person doing it to you over and over and over, which I think that with the research I've done and experience I have now, Wayne Smith really needs to stop what he's doing. He is hurting a lot of people, not just me. He's hurting a lot of people with what he's doing, and it's not right, and it needs to be stopped. And if you see this, reach out to the person that's being attacked. Let them know you saw what happened to them. Let them know you'll give a statement if you need to when they go to the police. Let them know that you stand behind them, because what I felt was that I was drowning. And even though I saw so many people who loved me and were kind to me, or even just put up with my debating, right? Maybe you didn't even agree with me, but you're like, you know what? I don't agree with her on this stance, but it's cool that she went out there and said what she said, whatever. Even though I had those people in my corner, I wasn't telling people that I was drowning. I wasn't, I just wanted to put on a strong face. I didn't want this to affect me to the point it was affecting me. And now I know better for next time. Yeah. If this ever happens to me again, I know better for next time.
And if anybody wants to find out who this Wayne Smith guy is, which he started this whole doxing thing anyways. If you go on my Wikipedia page, Armin Navobian Wikipedia, if you click on the talk app, you can see him there leaving some messages. If you're tech savvy enough to try to use that as a way to figure out what this guy's real name is and where is he, so we can report him. Please let us do that. Please help us do that. By the way, Allie, you're getting there's so much love in the live chat, and that's why I missed a lot of them. Lots of love to Allie. Keep fighting, Allie. You rock. Wait, I missed so much of it that it was on the top. So people are sending you hearts and hugs and.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Allie, for the people who are going through the same thing that you did, if something like that were to happen again, do you think it's important for people to take breaks when necessary to avoid getting to that level? I mean, where do you draw the line between commitment and to the cause and commitment to yourself?
To be honest with you, I am not in a good position to give better advice when it comes to that, because I didn't take a break, and I still don't know if taking a break would have changed anything. What might have happened is that I missed one threat where someone actually was going to carry out what they said they were going to do. What if that happened? I don't know. So I felt like I had to be on always. I had to know what was coming. I had to know who was going to say what next. And I had to be there to give them the middle finger, which I did with smiley faces and whatnot, bring it. But inside, I was horrified. Because it was coming in just en masse. And what do you do? How do you prepare yourself for that?
You were separated from your children for a long time.
Because I was in the hospital. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And but that's okay now, right?
Yeah.
And because before all of this happened, I thought this has all to do with the car accident that you had. Nothing.
Well, okay. That was just more stress, right? I mean, just not only was there online stress constantly going on, but there was in real life stress too, right? And about a month before I finally crashed, I was in a car accident. I was still healing from a car accident. But imagine the stress that caused. I have children, and, I work was spotty, and, I felt like everything was just breaking at once. Everything was breaking at once. And that was a huge part of it too. It was just more stress. And there wasn't any relief anywhere. Because even when things were okay, things were never okay. It was always about safety. What was that shadow outside of my window? why is there a police officer knocking on my door? Or why is a random person knocking on my door? Who is this? What do they want? It was just horrifying constantly. There was never an escape from anything. So yeah, it was hard. Of course, it took a toll. No one can survive that much stress for that long and have it not take a toll.
We got a super chat from Nilufar Rahman for $10. Thank you so much. It says support for Allie's cause and Atheist Republic. You are strong.
Thank you so much.
Peter was suggesting that we have a GoFundMe for you, but we already asked you that, and you said no to that. So
yeah, I really appreciate that, but what I would rather is just, people focus on Atheist Republic, not me. I will pull through. No. I always do.
Oh, what the hell, Allie?
We'll pull through, Allie.
No.
But we are here for you in any way that we can. The community is here for you. So if you ever feel like you need help in any way, do not hesitate to reach out, because there are hundreds of thousands of people who love you and will do anything for you.
Thank you.
The ironic thing about this whole thing is that you started a project in Atheist Republic to care for atheists that were ostracized, that were depressed, that felt that they had nowhere else to go, that were abandoned by everybody. And you had created a group where you were taking their cases, where you would talk to them online and try to give them hope. And all this time, you were the person that needed that the most. But you were getting other people to ask you for help, but you weren't yourself asking for help. I mean, you should. But you just recently also, before you went away, you came out of the closet, right? You posted on Facebook that you're a lesbian, and you did get a lot of.
My cat's throwing up.
That's okay. That's okay.
It's okay for you, Armin.
What did you say? Your cat is what?
He's got balls. He's old. His name's Schrodinger, and he's 9 years old. He's about to be 9 years old.
Schrodinger.
And he's got hair balls.
But people don't know.
I can't see him, so he is both throwing up and not throwing up.
Exactly.
People don't know. Allie is a nerd. Like, she's a science nerd as well. So that's why her cat is called Schrodinger. But this is why we love you. This is why we missed you so much. Yeah. But when you came out, you were scared to come out. Even, I mean, you came out as an atheist, and for 10 years of being an atheist, you were still not comfortable to tell people that you're gay, because you were afraid of the backlash that might get. Like, you thought that even I might not be comfortable with it. Like, that's how
I called Armin, and I was shaking. I was literally shaking, shaking in my voice, shaking my hands, my body. I was terrified to even tell Armin that I was gay. And that, I know it's crazy. I know Armin has always been outrageously supportive of especially the LGBT community and everything else. But for me, because of the way I was raised, because growing up, and I had always been a huge supporter of the LGBT community, obviously, but it was such a sin. It was such a terrible thing for me to be gay, that I was horrified, and I didn't think anyone would ever accept me. We can accept everyone else, but no one would ever accept me, because that's just what had always been ingrained in my head. That's what I had to tell myself to survive growing up in a homophobic household. You know, you couldn't, in my house, you couldn't even show support towards someone who was gay. It would enrage my mom. My mom would slap you across your face if you tried to support someone who was gay. So it was a terrifying experience for me to do that. And I was scared of Armin's reaction. Armin was like, "That's amazing. What do you mean? What's wrong?" And I don't think he understood. Like, to me, I was like, "What? You're okay with this? You'd be okay if I told people this? Like, really? You'd be okay with that?" And he's like, "I don't understand the problem, but you know, when you're raised in a hyper-religious Southern household where, you know, every aspect of who you are, everything that makes you who you're going to hell. You're going to hell. You're going to hell. You have sex before you're married. You're going to hell. You can't even think about being gay because that's a sin. You're going to hell. So, you know, it just having to tell myself that over and over and over and over and over again was how I survived.
Right. But okay, but you did get some negative reactions from some of your close friends. I mean, I think most of the messages that you got was positive, though, right?
Most, absolutely,
yeah, right.
Absolutely. Most of the messages were absolutely positive. I was overwhelmed and just honestly taken aback. I did not expect it. I did not expect so much love, and I was so grateful, so grateful. I didn't feel I deserved it. Even to this day, I have a hard time accepting it. I do. I have a hard time, even to this very day. I say that I'm gay, and I immediately get embarrassed and scared.
Aww.
And, you know, it's just indoctrination. It's real, and it's harmful. But
it certainly is. We have another super chat from Greg Hartwig for $9.99.
Oh, thank
you. Says,
Greg.
"We're with you always," and thank you so much for that, Greg. That's very kind.
But you did get some people saying that like you were pulling a stunt or something like that. Just for and these were your friends.
My friends, I respected you a lot before you pulled that gay stunt. And I'm like, what? And, you know, I don't think people know what it means to be in the closet. To be in the closet means you don't tell people that you're gay, and you tend to date, you know, people of the opposite sex. That's right. What happens, right? When you try to keep yourself in the closet. And a lot of people took that as me being disingenuous, me being a sneaky, me lying. And of course, I guess on one hand, if you really want to put it that way, I kind of was. I was lying about who I was, but why is it so offensive? Like why people cared about how dishonest it seemed. I was suffering for a long time.
Wait, they were saying that you were dishonest because you didn't say that you were gay before?
Right.
Like, what the hell? Like, they don't know what people have to, like, they should, like, this is the atheist community. They should know how fucking difficult it is to be open about being gay.
You know, it was, and then, but what it did was it helped to reinforce, you know, the indoctrined views I was raised with. And even now, I just said, of course, it was kind of a lie, to not be 100% honest.
Yeah.
And here I am, I'm defending these people for the terrible things they've said about me, saying, well, I guess they're right.
No,
even now, it's hard. It's unfair. It's unfair. It's hard. But I had people, you know, say that. This one guy who I thought we were friends, I went out with him twice, not as a date. I always pay for myself when I go out so that I don't give people, you know, the wrong impression. So I paid for myself, but after it came out, he was like, oh, so this is how I found out the girl I dated is, dude, like we went out as friends twice. Like, you didn't even have my phone number.
Wow.
I thought we were
some girlfriend.
Wait, so he thought that because you went out twice, he was entitled to be told separately from everyone else that he had some separate.
Because he thought we were dating, and I never.
Fuck him! You should screenshot and shame these people to oblivion. You know, like you should like.
Nice.
You should be less. You should be less nice, Allie. You're too nice.
But I mean, really though, I don't believe that these people in the LGBT community that are speaking out against Allie like that realize that they are only speaking like that because they have that privilege to be speaking like that, because they have not been raised in that indoctrination. They do not know the fear of coming out. They don't know what oppression lies ahead of for people who are to come out. They don't know the sacrifices that they make.
I am so happy that they did not have to live like that. I'm so happy
and you should
have their parents. I don't have my parents. You know, I haven't had my parents for a very long time. That's why, again, I'm happy today that I'm 35 years old, because half of my life I've raised myself. Okay.
Because your parents were very religious and they don't want anything to do with you anymore, right?
No, they don't. So, you know, and by the way, there's a wonderful woman named Judy who has kind of taken me in as her own, and I get to call her mom, and she is a beautiful woman, I am so grateful for her. She knows that I'm gay. She knows how hard things have been for me, and all she wants to do is just love me and let me have someone as a mother figure to share. You know, when you don't have parents, I think people don't realize how bad it is. Not when you struggle. When you struggle, things are bad. A lot of people get to call their parents. Parents bail them out, and that must be really nice, because I have known struggle. I've been homeless. I know what it is to struggle, you know, but it's the happy things too. When you have a baby, when you graduate college, when you do these things, you don't have anyone to share the good things with either. And it's hard. It takes a toll. So I just, you know, I'm grateful for her, to have someone. If ever I wanted to pick up my phone and share a happy experience with someone, I can do that. And I can have someone say, you know, I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. And I just want to say, some people are so beautiful and some people are so wonderful. And I'm really grateful for the beautiful, wonderful people I have in my life. Good things do come, you know.
I think I don't know if people understand how strong you actually are, because correct me if any of this is wrong, because this is based on previous conversations that we have. The one reason why you tend to be extra nice is because of the amount of hates that came at you from very early on, from childhood, and the expectations that were that people had of you to keep a smile on and be pleasant and be nice, and the amount of reactions that you get for the positions that you have or for the things that you say, the amount of hostility that you get makes you terrified about the constant hate that you could continue coming your way. So you're always a little bit hesitant to be out there, but still, even after experiencing so much hate in your childhood, and then coming out as an atheist and having to deal with that shit, and then being doxed, and then having to deal with that shit, and having been doxed again, having to deal with that, all that hate again and again, and to the point that you had to, you know, call the police and be in a hospital. But even after all of that constant attack, you're still coming out and you're telling everybody, I'm still here. You still haven't shut me up. Like, if that is not strength, I really don't know what is.
Agreed.
And I'm still nice. I still want people to come to me when they're having a hard time. Still, you know, now that I'm in a better place to help other people again, I still want to help other people. And the reason why what drives me is all of this hate. And the more hate people pour on me, like I said, yes, I broke. Congratulations, but you still didn't get out of it what you wanted, which was for me to shut up and go away and never come back. I'm back, and I know how to handle things better this time, and I'll know how to handle things better next time, and the time after that, and the time after that, and it drives me only more to help other people and to be a joy for other people, because I know misery, I know suffering, I know hurt and hatred, and so I want to be loved. And I want to be kindness. And I want to be a smile when you're having a bad day. That's who I've always wanted to be. And that's who I always will be.
I don't know.
I think this is a great time to insert this super chat that came up for 20 euros from Alexander Tillard. Thank you so much for that. It says, Allie, you are a hero. The courage you have displayed and the work you have done to help create an awesome community will help and inspire people worldwide. You truly inspire me.
Thank you so much.
I don't know how you could afford to be this nice, Allie. You're a much stronger person than I could ever be. You are. I would have been.
Thank you.
You have nice hair too.
You do. We miss your hair so much. You know, I was telling you before we went live. I was telling Ali that we actually in our group, in the admin group chat. By the way, we have to mention Chrissy. She was so broken without you. She missed you so much. She was.
Chrissy, for anyone who doesn't know who Chrissy is, to put in words what Chrissy means to me, I can't. When I was away from social media and being able to contact anyone, I literally just to tell you who Chrissy is, my heart hurt for her. It hurt because I didn't have her when I needed her. It hurt because she is so beautiful and so wonderful in so many ways. She's my sister. I love her so much, and not being able to speak to Chrissy hurt more than I ever knew it would. And that's just because Chrissy is so beautiful. She is so wonderful. She is the light. She is just a light.
For people that don't know, Chrissy is people that don't know, Chrissy is one of our main admins in many of our groups and consulates, and yes, Atheist Republic, and she is the foundation of a lot of the way we do things. So, and her and Allie were very close, and she
I told you this before the call, but I'll go ahead and say it again for everybody else. When Chrissy and I would be working together, we'd kind of come to a dead end, and I'd be like, well, I don't really know where to go from here. She'd be like, oh, well, Allie would do this, and so I mean, even while you were gone, I mean, she definitely embodied Allie while you were gone. She kind of took on that twin role, so you never knew which Chrissy you were gonna get.
Allie, you're like the missing Messiah that we all like, this lost prophet that will one day come back at the end of times. But we kind of like cited you as a way to make our arguments. Like whenever, like sometimes when we disagreed, or like, well, Allie would never agree with this, or Allie would say this if she was here, and we were like, but I don't know, you know how much we love you, but I do think that you shouldn't let all this hate come towards you. Like, we do need to find a way. Like, I know you want to be strong and accept everything that comes at you, but I mean, we can, if we want to deal with bullshit coming our way, but we don't have to, especially when it gets to this level. Like, you need to go and block a whole bunch of people, and just because people have the right to say what they want, they don't have the right to have access to you and to.
Well, and that's what I learned actually while I was away, because the whole reason why I didn't really block out a lot of people, and I didn't was one is I wanted to know what they were gonna do next, right? That I thought was very important, but now I've learned a way to work around that. And two, I did believe that people had the right to say what they wanted to say, right? Even if it was,
but they don't have the right to you.
But they don't, and they don't have access to me. They don't have the right to constantly have access to me.
Right.
I was doing so much for so many people, and that's because I chose to. I wanted to. That was the highlight of my life, was working with other atheists around the world, helping them out of their situations. That was worth every sacrifice I was given. But when these other people start popping up and they demand access to me, I was spreading myself too thin instead of targeting exactly what it was, remembering why I'm here, what it is I'm doing. I was just letting myself get spread too thin, and other people do not have the right to constantly have access to me.
No, they don't.
Wow, that's awesome.
But you're not. But Ellie, when I keep asking you what we can do, you keep telling us nothing. We want to feel like we're selfish. We want to feel helpful somehow. Is there nothing we can do?
Be a smile in my life. I be the smile in everyone else's. Be the smile in mine. Just be here for me. You know, some days I have bad days too. I will smile through them. I will. I smile through tears even now. I smile and I try to be happy.
By the way, this is something that I can't get over. Jim doesn't understand.
No.
Allie,
this is something that Allie would.
You have to join me because I had to deal with so much shit from Jim. I need you on my side with this, okay? Look at how many times his phone is. You know how many times his phone is ringing during live streams. Jim, I never had to deal with this kind of stuff with Allie. See?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
No, but I mean, I think I speak for everyone. I think it goes unspoken yet that we definitely support you. But I mean, we'll smile with you. We'll support you in every way possible. But above all, we are just happy to have you back in any capacity. We're just so happy you're back. I just want to expound on that. I can't express that enough. How happy we are that you're back.
I'm happy to be back with my family. Atheist Republic is my family.
This is not enough, though. I'm gonna fly over there and I'm gonna come see you.
Yeah. I went to Vancouver.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, it was this little.
I guess that means I have to drive down.
We at least gonna hang out for like what, an hour or two.
Yeah. That's not enough.
Enough for a selfie, I think.
Yeah, so enough for
that was the last picture you posted. You know, I kept every once in a while I come to see your profile because I missed you so much, and I was just looking for signs of anything activity. And one of the last pictures you posted was the pictures of me and you together. And I always kept on seeing that, and it just made me feel so sad. Did I show her enough love when I had the chance? Am I gonna see her again? It's so.
Miguel just posted in the group, in the Atheist Republic group chat. He said, "Jim, I just laughed so hard at your face when your phone rang."
Miguel, I missed Miguel. Miguel was, when I did things, he was my right hand man. Miguel got shit done. I would feel like I was drowning and stuff, and he'd say, "Is there something I can do for you?" And I'm like, "Can you do this with consulates?" And Miguel would be like, "Done. What next?" And I just,
what the heck, Miguel?
Yeah. For a while, Allie, I was thinking that we're not going to be able to survive without you, because a lot of the people that stood by, they stood by because they loved you. And I was like, nobody really loves me because I'm really shitty to people, right? So I'm very aggressive, and I have a very aggressive tone when I want, and Jim can tell you that, right? When I want, I'm not very good socially, and I was like, when you were here, it's okay. I could be very aggressive because Allie is very nice, and people will tolerate all my shit because they love Allie. And then when you were gone, I was like, fuck. We're gonna lose all our team now. But they stood by, so it seemed
of course,
yeah. So
we're a family. That's what we built. We built a family, and Mom was sick and had to go. But
Mom is back now.
Bear is back. Mama Bear is back. I will be here to help and support and do everything I can, because I love you guys, and I've missed you. I've missed this.
Well, we got a super chat from Tony. Wow, $50. Holy shit. Tony is saying, much love to Ali, Armin, Jim, and AR. Oh, thank you, Tony. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tony, so much.
But Ali, if you ever change your mind, if you ever need help, please let us know what any of the suggestions that we made to you and you shut down because you said you don't need it. If you change your mind on any of that, please, we're not going to do anything that you don't want us to do, okay? But in any, like, and always, if you change your opinion, you know, sometimes you're very self-conscious. You might feel like, how is this going to look? It doesn't fucking matter how it's going to look, okay? If you need help, if you need help, please just let us know that you need help, okay? Fuck anybody that thinks like, you know, this is going to look bad on you. Fuck them, okay? Fuck all of them, all right? Seriously.
Yeah.
You only need a handful of people that love you, and you have 10 times more than a handful of, 100 times more than a handful of people that love you. But you only need like around 10 to get in life to be able to go through life, okay? And you know you have that. Fuck everyone else, okay?
Yeah, that's like 100,000 tall people and like 80,000 short people. That's just a lot.
What I really want to do is go back through everything, because I have a lot of AR children out there that I've kind of adopted as my own that, I left. And, the guilt of that is eating me up along with everything else, because, these are children, these are preteens and teens whose parents have abandoned them. They've had nobody. So, I really am desperate to get back in touch with my AR babies. And shower them with love they haven't gotten for 6 months.
You are in no position to feel guilty about anything, Allie, okay?
Oh, I know.
Stop blaming things on yourself. You have no idea how many people you've helped. Seriously.
That's an understatement.
Yeah. Mars is saying, "Come on, Armin, we all love you, brother." Mars, that's because you haven't worked with me yet. The people,
Yeah,
oh.
When there's a live chat separating you two, it's a different story.
Right. Moose asked if you're going to be on Twitter now. I think that's because Moose herself is... No, that was Beach. Beach was asking if you're going to be on Twitter because Beach, I think she's active on Twitter mostly. I don't know if that's a good idea, Ali. I think you have to be in an environment where you can control what you're exposed to. You make the decisions. I do think based on all the stuff that you went to, like, people are going to try to like make you feel like shit by being, oh, you're too sensitive and stuff like that. But honestly, if anybody says that to you after everything that you had to deal with, like, really just tell them to go fuck themselves, please. Like, if you're too nice to tell them that, please tag me or something so I could tell them to go fuck themselves.
I'll tag Armin.
Moose Gal was saying 3 hosts now. Oh, Jim was being the co-host for Atheist News.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
No. I'm just kidding. I love it. It's been really great.
No, it hasn't been. We have. No, I'm just kidding. No, Ali, we fight a lot right before I hit the go live stream. Like, you don't have no idea how much.
and then we get on there and we put a nice face.
Yeah,
and then get out when we disagree on a news topic.
Right.
We
have
if
no
Jim's
idea.
ever not able to, I'll always be around.
Oh my gosh! Yes, that would be amazing. We should talk after and definitely get you to do
doing the news.
Yeah.
I can't believe how much I missed that.
Yeah. Oh my God, that would be great if we could have you. Well, yeah. Godless Iowan. Oh, hi, Godless Iowan.
What's up, dude?
There's saying Jim's mustache is nice, but we missed Allie. Yeah, you have a mustache. Allie has her hair. I don't have anything to show.
Yeah, I was trying to go, distinct. I want to stand out,
Love it.
But okay, we're gonna wrap this up soon. But I really do want us to have like a get together, like something that we all just meet face to face, and not just like the 1 hour that we had in Vancouver, like a week or something, like a Atheist Republic get together.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm halfway.
Yeah.
But you don't want to come to Oklahoma.
Okay, so I'm gonna, but just take a while, stick around for a while after we go off air. I just want to thank everybody that, like, I asked people to show up and shower with with love, and I didn't read all of it, but Ali, there was a pouring of love in the live chat from so many people. I like the ones that we read at was just like a small fraction of what's going on here. So, thank you for Mrs. Snarky, Godless Iowan, Bobby, Beach, Dutch Skeptic, Drake. Some people from the admin team wanted to be here, but they couldn't figure out how to. They couldn't figure out Skype, which shows how like we have different age groups in our admin group.
You used to call me grandma.
yeah. I do that to Jim now as well. Every time he can't figure something out, like grandpa, like
your grandpa. Your grandpa, I'm grandma.
Right.
And Armin's older than us.
Yeah. But you're acting like grandmas and grandpas. That's what I'm saying.
Well, we can't all be as cool as you.
You can't. See, Armin was the cool one.
Oh, I love you guys. Everybody else, Sunshine, from Saudi Arabia, I think. Sunshine, you're still there?
Sunshine.
Awesome.
No, isn't she from South Africa?
Oh wait, so from South Africa or Saudi Arabia? I forgot.
South Africa, I think. Sunshine.
Yeah.
I remember
See,
Sunshine.
this is why Ali is new here. She knows people, but she's more connected to our community than I would ever be. Alex, love from the children. That's what Alex is saying. Oh, that's sweet. Boundless of Dutch Skeptic is saying boundless love to you, Ali. Hashtag Hidden saying we love you. Muscal, wait, God, Muscal, what does that have to do with anything? Oh, maybe she's responding to someone else. What is this? I forgot. Some people's names I can't pronounce. Sorry, I'm not gonna butcher it. But lots of love. Anyways, we're gonna go off air now. But thank you guys for being here. We really did need you here, and thank you for showing up. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thanks everyone.
All right. Bye, guys. Stop.